setup. Because I have to like start recording and walk all the way around. Okay. It's fine. We're fine. Check.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's what I wanted. It's fine. It's fine. It's
I knew
fine.
you were going to do that.
Everything is fine.
Last 5 years, yo.
Yep. All right. So I reckon we should start with like a recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to get this started. Make sure that all the things are correct. So that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. Previously on Let's Put on a Show. I don't actually want to edit in any clips here, so we're just going to talk about it. We saw Ride the Cyclone before.
And we did a go see this show, and then we went and saw it again last night.
Yeah, so that's their previously on. So if you haven't seen or listened to the Ride the Cyclone episode that we already did, probably do that first, because this one's real spoilery. We're going to talk about spoilers. If you haven't seen Ride the Cyclone,
It only plays one more day at this point.
it only plays one more day at this point, but if you want to see Ride the Cyclone, which you should, and you don't want any spoilers, which is not an especially plot-heavy show, and it's really more
It's character driven.
it's character-driven, and the actors and the performances do most of the heavy lifting. You're probably fine, but if you really don't want spoilers, just give this one a pass.
We won't judge you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might judge you a little.
Okay, that being said, fucking Ride the Cyclone.
I reckon we should actually do the intro, though. Like, we should put the music right here. Hello, and welcome to Let's Put on a Show, a show about musicals, theater, and musical theater with someone who's not super into any of those things.
Someone who really, really is, and
Someone who's in the middle.
Yep, our recurring guest, Lane, who's, I think, upgraded to friend of the show at this point. So that's good. I'm kidding. Here, you were always a friend of the show. So, we just watched Ride the Cyclone again, the second time. We got standing room only tickets and wound up with way better seats than the first time. The first time we were like way at the back of the balcony. Like, I was like, oh man, those moving colored blobs down there sure are talented. And this time we were like close enough that I could actually see people's performances and kind of, enjoy that. So, man, this play, when I saw it the first time, I was like, this is, probably my play of the year. But, in the second time I saw it, I might have to upgrade it to best play of all time. Maybe it was, that I was like a little bit drunk and, surrounded by friends and seeing it up close. But goddamn, this play holds up like crazy. So, for people who skipped the first episode or just want to recap, Ride the Cyclone is about what?
a high school choir that gets sent to purgatory.
Yep, after they all ride a roller coaster that derails and kills them all horribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called The Cyclone.
Yep, hence Ride the Cyclone.
And the narrative form is there is a self-aware amazing Karnak box.
The Amazing Karnak, which is one of those fortune-telling machines like Zoltar from Big.
Yep.
Except he is also the narrator and kind of the arbiter of the play.
Yeah.
Because the central, the plot thing, the MacGuffin, if you will,
is that only one of them gets to go back.
Yeah, one of them gets to return to life, and the others can't. And it's introduced as, they don't really introduce the rules at first.
No.
And which leads, oddly enough, the character with probably the least development, which is not saying much because they get so much development, everyone else. And also probably the closest thing to an antagonist and a protagonist that this play has, Ocean O'Connell Rosenberg. She's the most like a protagonist because she's the most proactive character. She's the most like an antagonist because she's the most antagonistic character.
To all the other characters.
And that's a really interesting dynamic. She basically sings a song about how
she's better than everybody
Yeah,
else.
she's better than everyone else, called What the World Needs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It's like a Taylor Swift song on steroids.
Yeah, it's like if Taylor Swift
Was a Catholic schoolgirl.
was a Catholic schoolgirl. Hold on a sec. Let me just imagine. Okay, we're good. If Taylor Swift was a Catholic schoolgirl and also like into writing diss raps about people, which I guess she is, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, she sings that, and basically, my favorite thing is like talking about how the Russian student is definitely going to prison, and how
Yeah.
her best friend, her highest aspiration in life is,
To be a soccer mom with no reliable man.
and also then to be an organ
organ
donor.
donor.
Like
Yeah.
she literally says, "Do we really need another organ donor?"
Yeah.
Which is whoa.
Yeah.
And then the rule is introduced that the winner will be decided by unanimous vote. That starts in on one of the themes that I really like about the play. That I kind of picked up on it the first time, but didn't really, not consciously, which is that at the beginning, since Karnak is this sort of quasi-omniscient, semi-omnipotent judge figure, it's funny that he continually like introduces rules after the fact.
After the fact, yeah.
Yeah, like he talks about how basically Ocean asks a bunch of questions to Karnak, and he answers them kind of vaguely. And then after the third one, he says, "Ocean O'Connell Rosenberg, you have just used up the 3 questions allotted to the entire group." Never before has that idea been introduced at this point. So it basically it introduces this kind of quasi-nihilistic idea of the rules suck and are arbitrary, at first in a funny way.
Yeah.
And then, towards the end of the play, it takes a hard left turn into tragedy.
Oh, yeah.
And it becomes more clear that the rules are fucked up, not just, in a, like, haha, isn't that funny way, but in, like, oh no, life is tragic and arbitrary way.
Yeah. So to explain, the aside from the amazing Karnak, the framing narrative is he has had a rat chewing through his power cable and knows when he is going to die, which is in about an hour from the beginning of the play.
Yeah, so really more like roughly 90 minutes, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's a thing in all fiction.
Yeah. So, and we are introduced to the kids who are Constance, who is the best friend of Ocean.
Yep.
Jane Doe, who no one knows who she was and no one remembers her
That's the
joining
thing,
the choir.
that she was the one unidentified
The mystery contestant.
yeah, the mystery contestant, and the one unidentified
body.
because her head was cut off and flew away somewhere and no one's found it yet.
Yeah.
Which is dark. Also, I played by Emily Rome, who noticed the first episode, and that was fun. That was an interesting thing.
That happened.
That happened. If you're listening, Emily, good job. Because when she's first introduced, like, her entire body language, I talked about this in the first one, her entire body language says broken doll.
God, yeah.
Yeah. And I noticed this time that when she's first introduced, she has fully inverted one of her feet.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I didn't see that the
facing
first time either.
backwards. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I tried doing that last night and I was like, I can't.
I can do it. Like, I know how she did it because you don't put any weight on that one.
I mean, I figured. That
And
would
you
just break your
start it
ankle.
and you drag it like.
It's impossible to
Yeah.
do in audio only.
Yeah. But anyway, so Emily Rome plays Jane Doe. Lillian Castillo plays Constance.
Yeah, and Constance is really a much more interesting character than I kind of gave her credit for the first time. Mm-hmm. Like, not that she was, uninteresting, but I was like, oh, she's the best friend. She has a dark side. Okay. But this time around, another realization that I had was that if you were going to go the easy route, you would put The Ballad of Jane Doe as the last song. Mm-hmm. Because, A, it's a fucking showstopper. Like, it's incredible. And B, I already gave the spoiler alert. Jane Doe is the one that gets to go back to life. And that would be the easy way to kind of structure that. Mm-hmm. But they don't do that. She's the second to last song. And the last song is Constance's, which is a really oddly sunny song.
Well, it's because she she admits Constance her parents are the only ones. So this is set in a small town, Saskatchewan, Canada, named Uranium.
Yeah, Uranium
so named for
City.
the uranium
Uranium
mines.
City. Yep.
And Constance's parents have, the Blackwood family has been there forever.
Yeah.
And she's ashamed of it.
Yeah.
And she admits to losing her virginity to a carny in a porta potty 3 hours before she died.
Yeah.
And
with a tattoo on his forearm of two skeletons having sex with born
Born
to
to
bone.
which when we do see this carny is so all of the actors double as like the storytellers in the background, like people's parents and stuff who don't really have dialogue, but they're there to illustrate the story.
Yeah.
And this one is done by Adam Stanley.
Yeah.
Who
is awesome.
I adore Adam Stanley.
Yeah, he's from Seattle, right?
Yeah, he's a local boy. I saw him in Tribes last year.
Yeah, and he also probably took the longest to like hang around and gab
At the stage door,
Yeah, he was a really cool guy.
Yeah.
Um,
So anyway, that's Constance's story, and like she realizes she only did it because she wanted to do it the most horrible way possible, and realizes that every wonderful thing that had happened to her had happened in uranium.
even though she starts out kind of in.
She gives the best monologue in the show.
God,
Yeah, this crazy good monologue. She starts out kind of going, like feeling ashamed for being in her small town, being from her small town, and kind of being quasi-condemned to live in her small town forever. And by the end, she's turned it around, like you said, with every good thing that happened to her happened there. And that's really kind of the important turning point, where it becomes the tragedy of life, or the tragedy of death isn't that you died, it's that you didn't get a chance to live.
Mm-hmm. And Ocean at the end actually has a thing about when they all decide that
That Jane
Doe is going to come back. Turns out her name was Penny.
Yeah.
She has this thing about, we're so upset about dying we forget that we lived.
Yeah.
And gives this beautifully impassioned speech, and then she goes, the one who didn't get to live should go back. Like, we don't know anything about her.
Yeah. Including, she doesn't know anything about herself.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything about herself. Like,
Except that she's a Victorian porcelain doll and she occasionally spouts creepy anecdotes.
Yeah.
Which is great.
The one about the lioness.
The one about
God,
the
the
fucking lioness. And also just, when someone says, it's Ocean complains about profanity, and someone says the word fuck. And then she just yells, or sings, "Fornication under consent of the king."
Yep.
Anyway,
that was beautiful. So the next one, I'm just going by the way they're listed on the website.
Yeah.
Next one up is Ricky, played by Connor Russell, Ricky Potts.
Yeah.
Who has an unnamed degenerative disease, is, on crutches at the beginning, and then as soon as they're in the afterlife, you're just like, hey guys, I can talk.
You just watch him in the background, like moving his arms, like, what's happening?
Yeah.
What is going on?
It's great, 'cause
Look what I can do.
he was a member of the choir despite being mute, because Ocean was like trying to be
Accessibility for all.
really inclusive, and he seemed incredibly like unenthused about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you get a very strong impression that he would have said no if he could.
Yeah.
But he kind of couldn't.
Yeah. But he has, like, they all have the best number
They
in
all
the show.
have. Yeah, that's the thing.
honestly.
It's all like not in the Pasek and Paul every song is the show-stopping number way. It's just solid fucking music the entire way through.
Because you open with the journey through life, or whatever it was.
The Dream of Life.
Dream of Life.
Yeah.
Which is just Jane Doe singing, kind of backlit a little bit. And then you go into... Then you get the opening number, which is Enjoy the Ride.
Yeah.
Which is them getting on the roller coaster.
Yep.
And then subsequently dying.
And subsequently dying. And then...
Then you get Ocean.
Then you
and
get
her
Ocean.
Taylor Swift song, which is really cool.
Yeah. And then the next one up after that was...
Sorry, are we going by the... We should probably go by song order, not...
Yeah, that's why I'm
okay.
backing tracking here.
Backtrack it. Okay.
So Ocean, and then we get Noel.
Noel.
Fucking Noel.
The most romantic boy
Noel
in
Gruber,
town.
played by Colby Wardell.
Which, good fucking job, man. That's...
The most romantic boy in town, and his song is called "That Fucked Up Girl,"
and it's
he wants to be a French prostitute in post-war France and
die
die of yellow
typhoid.
fever.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's incredible.
And he does this all wearing heels and a wig and a black slip, and it is beautiful.
The best part of that whole thing, though, is that he's wearing those under his clothes, under his breakaway clothes for the entire play up until that point.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of rips them all off, and he's, in French prostitute gear.
And, there's one point where, like, and this is where it really comes in when people start, putting on costumes to be backup.
Yeah.
And at this point, Adam Stanley, who plays Misha, puts on a beret and is one of the lovers.
Yeah, and
which comes back as a line later.
Yeah, no. That's sorry, their friendship is really one of the best
I adore
parts.
them.
Yeah.
And then, after the whole song, I forget what's said, but then Constance says, I don't know, I still like the part where the two boys kiss.
Yeah, like twice she says that.
Yeah.
It's very adorable.
So Noel's song is like amazing.
Yeah.
And we find out in his life he worked at Taco Bell.
And that they named
A meal.
a meal after him.
And catered his funeral for
And catered his
free.
funeral for free. And had
Christina Aguilera's Beautiful
played
on the
bagpipes.
I only
God.
said I liked that song once, ironically.
It's perfect. That's the thing. They nail these characterizations so well, because I feel like I know at least like 2 or 3 people like all of these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except maybe Jane.
Yeah.
No, I actually know a few people like Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that one, we got Misha's song, right?
Yes. And
Yes.
Misha actually kind of gets 2 songs.
Yeah,
Because
because
Misha Baczynski
he
is,
has this song is awesome, and then he has Talia.
and that's the thing. He is the Ukrainian bad boy. Like, there's this fucking backstory about his mom, like, dying from uranium poisoning.
And putting him up for adoption and forging his birth certificate, say he was like 2 years old, just potty trained, and then he shows up with a 5 o'clock shadow and alcohol on his breath.
Yeah. And he's basically, as he says, Ukrainian men have only 2 emotions, rage and passion. And basically he, his first song that he sings is a self-aggrandizing hip-hop number about how much money he has, even though he doesn't at all. And then he sings this really, like, heartfelt love ballad to his, let's face it, imaginary girlfriend.
No, I think she was real.
I don't know.
I mean, I know so many people who've gone both ways, and like the fact that they had the video and him running into the video.
But that's the thing. Okay. I want to get into something here. All of the songs, except for one, are about fantasies. Right? Ocean's fantasy is about her basically becoming someone big and important. Noel's fantasy is about being a
prostitute.
Being a French prostitute. Misha, his song is about, being rich and also having this love that he's never met. She left mostly positive feedback on his YouTube. And probably not. Probably not actually going to happen. Jane Doe sings about wanting to know her identity. Like, basically, they all get kind of I want songs.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for Constance. And that's why hers goes last. And that's why that's smart. Because her song is about being content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Anyway,
but back to the order.
Back to the order.
So we have Misha's songs, and then after that we get the Ballad of Jane Doe.
Yeah. Which, once again, show-stopping number. Like,
She gets put on a lift at one point and is spinning through the air.
she's like doing operatic singing while like fully inverted and spinning. Holy
Talent.
shit. Mad props, Emily. Good job.
And then after the Ballad of Jane Doe, we get Constance's song.
Yeah. After her monologue, which is really kind of the emotional core
Yeah.
of it. Am I right in thinking
No.
that...
No. Go on.
Oh, Ricky.
I was like, we
Ricky,
skipped Space Age Bachelor
we missed
Man.
Ricky! Shit! Space Age Bachelor Man!
like,
the
oh
most
my God.
cracked
How
out
can
thing
we
I have
forget-
ever seen!
It's like, how can we forget that?
It's
So Ricky, the quiet boy,
quiet
he's
because he's mute.
yeah.
But
But
the most imaginative boy in town.
yes, and he has the song "Space Age Bachelor Man," in which he's just like, "I need to go save the Earth from the evil planet Kataris."
How could I forget the fucking most fantastical fantasy song in that list? It's incredible. Everyone's wearing like crazy
80s
like
goth
Flash Gordon
80s Flash Gordon cat costumes. And there's a Dalek.
That Dalek just sort of randomly appears. It's unclear why, except for, of course,
He's a nerd.
Yeah, and at one point he like goes behind the curtain, then it just pops his face out and goes, "It's about to get weird," and comes out in like a skin tight bodysuit with a light up crotch.
And all of these costumes glow under black light as well.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's amazing.
It's my favorite thing. Ricky, played by Connor Russell, who is, I think he's a Seattle boy. I've seen him, like, he was in the 5th production of Little Mermaid as Flounder. I saw him actually down in San Diego with October Sky.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah.
I think he's a Seattle boy too.
And crazy talented as they all are.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Space Age Bachelor Man. That I think is after the Ballad of Jane Doe, they have Ocean does the first nice thing that she does in the.
Oh yeah, they
That's
do the
right.
birthday for Jane.
They like the fantastic prizes. We forgot the fantastic prizes that are mentioned at the beginning are like
a deep fried Hello Kitty cupcake.
An Iron Maiden T-shirt
That's still sweaty from the
that's
carny.
still sweaty from the carny that wore it, which is the carny that Constance had
Yeah.
sex with,
Yeah.
which is great. Like I remember actually noticing, hey, where'd the shirt go?
Yeah.
At one point, and clearly backstage.
Yeah.
I think the last one was like a pack of menthol cools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A stale pack of
A
menthol.
stale pack of menthol cools. But yeah, so they take the Hello Kitty cupcake and they first
Make up a birthday song.
Yeah, first they sing Happy Birthday, but then they get to the part with the name and they don't quite know what to say.
Constance just sort of hums.
Yeah. So they make up a new birthday song, and it's very sweet. It's a very sweet moment. And then Jane kind of just
Smashes the cupcake.
grabs the
When I
cupcake.
saw it the first time, part of the frosting actually fell on the floor.
Yeah,
so
me too,
Constance
actually.
had to like
You had
pick
to, like,
it up,
swoop it up,
like
yeah.
with her finger and just
Just like
pokes
put that
it
back on top.
Yeah, and that's when they start kind of. It stops being there's a contest for who gets to be the winner, and it starts being that these people like didn't really know each other ever in real life.
Yeah.
And it's at that point that Ricky and Jane like have a fun bonding moment where he names her Savannah.
Can Savannah have the greenest eyes?
Sure. Yeah, and that's just incredibly sweet. And then fucking Noel and Misha
Yeah.
like get
Misha
drunk.
just pulls out.
Where'd you find that? It's birthday.
It's tradition.
There had been a line earlier in the show about
the
you
only-
stole 3 cases of communion wine. It was for my cousin's birthday.
Your
cousin was in grade 4 and had to get his stomach pumped.
Yeah, that's the thing. Every third or fourth line in this play is just incredibly quotable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it. So this has been.
If this comes to your city, go see
go
it.
see it.
God, yeah.
And if you have any clout in any organization that might bring it to any city, use
Figure it out.
that,
Make it work.
please. I would like to officially ask you to endanger your job at my command.
Yeah.
So,
I
yeah.
would love to go see this I know they did a New York run already.
Oh, yeah.
But I'd love them to do an actual, Circle in the Square run.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like some kind of actual Broadway.
Yeah. Circle in the
Deal.
Square would be the most apt theater for the show. In my opinion, if you think it's better, comment. If you can think of a better theater for it.
Man, if you see this play happening at a Circle K, go see it. It's that good. Even under the cold fluorescent light of day, it would probably be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even without the... Now that the second time I noticed it, really poorly kerned cyclone sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it because it's just so slapdash in the best way. And it kind of speaks to the quality of Carnival that we're talking about. Where they
Yeah.
have an omnipotent talking box that tells the future and also a rickety roller coaster that they can't put together correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Where were we? Right. So they have bonding moments, and Noel admits that Misha is the first man he ever kissed, and Misha, amazingly, is not weirded out by this at all.
Yeah.
Crazy, right? That, like, a gay guy and a presumably straight guy can be friends. Weird, right?
Well,
What a concept.
Misha
Weird,
had
right?
said
Yeah,
earlier
no.
in the play
Yeah.
about, in Ukraine it is common to show affection by kissing.
Yeah, no, he says that here. He also said earlier that homophobia isn't part of the rap game since Macklemore
dropped
dropped
Same
Strange
Love.
Love or Same Love.
Same Love.
Yeah. Which is incredible for a variety of reasons.
Yep.
Anyway, so
This is a beautiful show.
this is a beautiful show.
beautiful.
It's beautiful. And, like, I don't think there was a dry eye in the house when they play basically a montage of Penny's
Yeah.
life once she is resurrected from young childhood to old age. And
While
it's-
singing.
While singing, yeah. It's great. And then they basically accept their lot in life right as Karnak is about to
Explode.
Karnak is basically about to explain everything, and then Virgil the Rat
Yep.
And you
gets
see this
Who's a bass
countdown
player.
on the screen, and suddenly explosion.
yeah he
Yeah.
he basically explodes and like starts spouting random advice.
Yeah.
Which is
Ride
great.
the
That's so
cyclone.
cool. My favorite was you will get a promotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, your lucky number is 7.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
So Karnak is a real guy.
Karnak's a real guy.
Like, it's a dude with a mask and a box.
Yep, dude with a mask in a box and presumably puppet hands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is incredible. Like, that's actually a really impressive physical performance, partially just because he had to sit still for so much of it.
Yeah. Well, they had a curtain that would come down between scenes.
That's true. So he would probably go off and, like, have a smoke,
Take
eat
a
sandwich.
breath.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Well, I don't think he could get out without being seen,
Probably not.
but
No, he just had a sandwich in
Oh, I believe
the
it, yeah.
box.
Had a sandwich.
Yeah, just like, pulls the mask up, eats a sandwich.
I mean, I had to do that in a show. Like, that's actually how I met my current roommate. We were
Eating a sandwich in a
Well-
fortune-telling box.
eating a sandwich in a closet.
Cool.
He was costume lead on a show. I was working on the show, and to do a quick change, we had to hide in the closet together.
Fair enough.
And for about a half an hour, because we had to go on an intermission to hide in that closet, because there was no back exit to the closet because fuck the set designer.
Could have just tunneled out,
Yeah, and so we
Great
brought
Escape style.
like we had it was a pretty soundproof place, so we had a ukulele with us, and
So hold on. They soundproofed the closet, but didn't add a back exit.
yep,
Amazing.
because they needed to not hear the quick change noises.
That's fair.
So Mason and I were just in the thing for
For half an hour.
half an hour,
Eating a sandwich, shooting the shit. Yeah.
yeah, playing ukulele.
Yep.
It was a fun show.
Seems fun. Anyhow. So yeah, this show, I would say the fact that Love Never Dies is apparently making money hand over fist and like touring the country, and this show isn't, is,
Travesty.
I want to say, a damning indictment of something. Possibly the
Capitalism.
I was going to say the complacent attitude that a lot of theater goers seem to have.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a big thing. It's like,
Yeah. Like, people fucking bitch about, movies. Why are they always remaking movies? Why are they always, why is every TV show getting a revival now? That problem has never been more severe than in musical theater, I think.
it's coming out of it. Like, that is one thing.
Yeah.
Like, the last 10 years prior to Hamilton,
Yeah.
We're-
Hamilton seems to be shaking things up, which is
we're
good.
very, like, everything was getting revived. Les Mis got revived twice
Twice.
within 10 years.
Jesus, do we really need more sad Frenchmen? I
mean-
don't think we do. I think we've had our fill.
Yeah. Anyway, the second revival did better than the first, because the first one was done barely 3 years. The bed was still warm when they redid the first.
The first one also made the odd choice of casting everyone as actual physical cats. Like, I seem to remember Valjean was a tabby. There was the two Siamese that ran the inn. That might have been a dream I had.
That was probably a dream you
Okay,
had.
that makes more sense.
But that would be amazing.
that would be incredible. Or
Like-
just have cats, like the cast of Cats in full cat costume.
Do Les Mis.
Do Les Mis. No other changes.
Ah, yes.
The shaving scene where she sells her hair has to be way longer.
I was gonna say you'll have to have the sashes and the hats because that's an important part of Javert disguise.
Regular cat. Well, regular for cats. Just, sash and hat.
Yep.
Wait, that's just Puss in Boots. You're describing Puss in Boots.
Yep. Javert's Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
Heard it here, folks.
Yeah. And then when he throws himself off the bridge, he just lands on his feet and goes, fuck.
We thought this through.
We thought this through. Where were we? Right. Ride the Cyclone. I think this show really does deserve to go on to, not that it isn't already at big and good things, but bigger and better things.
Yeah.
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 Like, I sincerely hope they get to run Broadway and get Tony nominations.
Yeah, because, man, this show, I don't know, it sticks with me for some reason. Just because...
Because it's not happy, but it is happy.
It is happy. And I think the actual message of the show is very much one of, like, enjoying your life.
Yeah, like, you're gonna die anyway, don't wait to live.
You're going to die, and it's going to be arbitrary, and it's going to suck. You're going to die for no reason. There's never really a reason. Like, I mean, there's a direct reason, like, threw himself off a bridge. But there's not really a cosmic order to things, I think, is the kind of message. So when you die, it's really only a shame if you didn't live, which seems like a trite thing when I'm saying it out loud, but it really is portrayed beautifully.
Love conquers all.
Yeah. No, that's great too. I don't want to explain every joke. Like, I want them to be something, but
It's a cliche, and not even a good one.
It's a popular cliche. And that also kind of plays into it where
being the only gay kid in a small town is like having a laptop in the Stone Age. Sure, you could have it, but there's nowhere to plug it in.
That got probably the biggest laugh out of Kalen that I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Kalen is another friend of the show. He hasn't been on yet, but he's great. And that was the loudest laugh I've ever heard from him.
Mm-hmm. It was beautiful.
It's a beautiful show. It's just beautiful, and everything about it just kind of fits.
And all the gay jokes are made by the gay kid, not at the expense of the gay kid.
Yeah, none of the kind of characters are really the butt of jokes. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a few, but never really.
They're more of the stereotypes, not the characters.
Yeah, like the super gay dramatic kid working at Taco Bell. That's a joke more at the fact that he's a teenager than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I had to save up money to move to France.
Exactly. And everyone seems to be like out to move away.
Yeah.
Like explicitly.
Yeah.
Including Misha, who just arrived, presumably. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. What do you guys think?
I think we should rate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should rate it again.
Yeah. Well, Lane wasn't here the first
Yeah.
time.
That's true. And we did have our new rating system, which, okay. Can I propose something here live on the air that we haven't discussed before?
Yeah.
Sure.
What if we have our rating system be like, writing, production, feeling, and then as many subdivisions as you want in that.
Okay.
Subdivided as much as you want.
Per show, because
show.
each show does a different thing.
Yeah, like, for instance, Love Never Dies. Music is well written, book is dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literal, actual crap. Turning the pages was difficult. Yeah, so who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
So there's most of the show is music. That I will say. There's a good amount of dialogue, but
Yeah, it's not sung through.
yeah. But like book 10 out of 10, music 10 out of 10, like there's nothing that me as a storyteller goes, "Oh, I would have done that differently."
Yeah,
Which is rare.
that is actually pretty super rare.
Yeah. Like there's for most shows for me there's like, "Oh, I would have done that differently. I would have played that joke a different way."
Yeah,
But
and it's telling that I probably would have put Jane Doe's at the end, Jane Doe's song at the end, because that's the obvious choice. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad that I didn't write this play, because that would have made it worse.
yeah. And so that, and then technicality 10 out of 10, how it made me feel like no numbers can describe that.
So that's what, an infinity symbol?
Uh,
Maybe a picture of an apple?
Wibbly hand gesture, non-committal noise.
Cool, that sounds good.
Cool.
Okay, can I propose another thing that we haven't discussed ever?
Sure.
Yeah.
Have it be that there's no set scale. Just rate it however you feel like rating it.
Okay. Instead of 1
Cool.
to 10.
My rating is apple out of ham.
On a scale of 1 to Jack Sparrow, I'm an 11. That was something someone has actually said to me.
Amazing.
It was my captain when he broke his toe and was very drunk.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Did the toe come first or
The
the
toe
drunk?
came first,
Okay.
then he got drunk so he could set it.
Neat.
Okay.
Yeah, John Boy Morrison, don't fuck with him.
No, don't fuck with John Boy Morrison. That's our new motto. Bush did Mamma Mia, don't fuck with John Boy Morrison.
Yep.
Anyhow,
Okay.
Lane, would you like to go?
Sure. Okay. I mean, yeah, for me, it's like book and music go hand in hand just because there is so much song and music in this show, and it really is 10 out of 10. There is nothing that I as a writer or I as a storyteller would have changed in this show. It is just so well put together, and for me especially, the characters and their interactions with each other going through the show, that's what sticks with me. Is I remember these elements of these specific characters and they stay with me after the show, and that's what I remember. And anything that can do that and keep me with it even days after seeing it is incredible. And I'm like, all of the awards to that. And then in terms of technicality, incredible. Like, I had a few, the first time I saw it, there was a couple minor technical issues with sound and whatnot that did get resolved, that I don't blame them for. It happens. And during that run of it, it got fixed by the end. It was just like, oh, I can't hear what this person is saying, even though they're supposed to be singing. But yeah, I mean, like, oh god, ratings are going out of my brain. Probably like,
Remember, it can be anything.
I know, that's why I'm
Yeah,
like,
right?
oh, I have so many options. Like, why am I so bad at this today?
Nah, that's cool.
Probably like 95% out of 100. Like,
Cool.
stuff is gonna happen, and nothing technically wise in a show. It can, like, anyone who can make it perfect every time, I applaud you. But it's not always gonna happen.
Yeah, and that's like not really a huge percentage of shows.
Yeah. So I'm like, it's gonna happen, and it's fine. And as long as you work through like this show, like these guys were able to do, then good on you.
Yeah, and they really did work.
Yeah,
Like,
God.
yeah, because I agree. The first time I saw it, there were some technical things like weird sound mixing, like you said.
We also saw it in a preview performance.
Yeah, that was a preview. That was like their 5th performance.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they pulled it out. They fixed it.
Yeah,
all.
and I saw it like a week and a half after opening, so it was just very minor in the beginning, and it got sorted out in the end.
They worked out the kinks.
Yeah, and then in terms of how it made me feel, like, like heart eyes emoji, stars in the eyes emoji, like,
Yeah.
I just love this show so much. Like, it just sticks with me, and like you said, it holds up so well. I was like, oh, am I really gonna enjoy this as much as I liked it the first time? Because I loved it when I walked out of it the first time, and I walked out of it and I'm like, yes, I do. This show is amazing. I need everyone I know and everyone I don't know to see this show.
Yeah. I agreed. Agreed. All right, so as far as the writing goes, yeah, I honestly think I'm going to give this guy straight 10s. Just because, like, just, I don't know, I can't think of anything that would make it better.
No.
Like, at all. Anything that I kind of think I would add to make it better, after thinking about it for, like, 5 seconds, I go, no, that would make it worse. Yeah. That would distract from something, or it would add some... Okay, no, I thought of one thing. Okay. Exactly one thing. And that is I would like to see more of Virgil the Rat. Because he literally shows up once. And he's kind of the ensemble dark horse for me. I love Virgil the Rat. But that's not even worth taking a point off for, so 10. Is 10. Technical wise, yeah. Like, the friggin' Ballad of Jane Doe is like watching a ballet and an opera at the same time.
Yeah.
but it's also like watching Cirque du Soleil.
It's just masterful.
It's masterful. And then you have the cracked out wonder that is Space Age Bachelor Man. The Karnak box is super fucking impressive. Like, great performance, yes, but also just a great prop.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, really well designed. Yeah, fucking tens, man. Like, and the fact I mentioned this in the first video thing. I mentioned this in the first pod that the stage is basically built out of old carnival equipment.
Yeah.
And I don't think I mentioned then the scene during Talia where they start projecting video onto the like skirts.
Yeah, it starts out on the curtain behind them, and then it just starts moving.
Yeah,
onto
it moves
all these different things.
Like they kind of hold
Between
their skirts out,
and then there's also a piece of cloth that they move around and it projects on.
And then on his shirt in the end, like on his heart, which is like impressive in terms of just having to be in the right place.
Yeah.
And there's not really any like bleed through. Like they hold it up and it just is on the thing they're holding up, not around the thing they're holding up. Which is fucking remarkable. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Spike tape. Yeah. But then how it made me feel. 10. I don't know, guys. This play has like a weird straight shot direct to my,
everything.
Direct to my hope zone.
Yeah.
Which is not a euphemism for anything. Don't make it a euphemism for anything. Wink,
They're
wink.
gonna do it.
Yeah. Make it a euphemism for something really funny. Like the taint.
My hope zone?
Yeah. So that if you get kicked there, you go, oh no, my hope zone. Okay. Did I just imply that this play has a direct line to my taint?
Yes, you did.
Yes,
you know what?
did.
I'm just going to give it a 10 and stop there because it's incredible. It's really amazing. Like, I kind of want to just, like, go on tour with this show and yell at random passersby to go see it.
I mean, we could be the 2-person hype team.
Yeah.
Or 3-person.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Lane's got other stuff to do.
Road trip.
So.
Doot, doot. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that actually is a good segue into keep listening because this July, Lane and I are going to the East Coast on a whirlwind theater trip.
Oh shit, y'all.
Where we are seeing Moulin Rouge, Waitress, Beautiful, Angels in America. God, what else did we have on the list?
Oh, God.
I don't know. Are you going to review the Jeremy Jordan?
And Jeremy Jordan and Ashley Spencer are doing a concert the last day we're in New York, and we got tickets for it.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's a thing to review for this.
I mean, I'm going to because I love Jeremy Jordan.
Yeah.
And Ashley Spencer, and they're fucking adorable.
It's theater, and it's musical.
It's theater. They're both musical theater people.
Yeah.
And
this falls into our...
It falls in our purview.
Yeah, in the wheelhouse of let's put on a show. So yeah, look forward to that. We need to come up with a catchy title for that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out.
Yep.
We will tweet it when we have it.
Yeah. The Sabre Lane Road Adventure.
We're not on the road. Like, we literally fly in, take the train from Boston to New York, and then probably subway everywhere.
The New York airdrop. Wait, no.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. But anyway, that's something to look forward to. It'll be fun. We'll come up with a catchy title eventually. Maybe I'll dub it in right here. Okay. So, yeah. I just like to actually... This is another thing. I'd like to thank the ACT Theater, which a contemporary theater, but you know what? Still probably my favorite in Seattle. I'd like to thank the ACT Theater. I'd like to thank the entire cast and crew of this play.
And the Fifth Avenue.
The Fifth Avenue. It's a co-production. Yeah, I'd just like to thank all of them because let me tell you, sometimes this show is a little rough for me. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I have to watch it I do not like at all. And then there's moments where we watch something like this and it kind of...
It's magic.
It reminds me why I'm not super into any of those things as opposed to why I'm not into those things. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. I feel like that's a hair to split. Yeah, so thank you, all of you.
And thanks for the social media support in the past.
Yeah.
because I put it on Twitter, and then all of a sudden, like, I was being retweeted by David Armstrong and the Act Theater and Emily Rome, and
yeah,
and now we have an official Twitter.
Yes,
we are now live at Let's Put On a Show 1 on Twitter, and then the parent company is Blood and Thunder Publications, which also has a Twitter now.
Fun fact: Blood and Thunder Publications is just me. It's literally a sole proprietorship, but it's a company. Hooray! Yeah, so you can follow both of those. And we also have a Facebook group.
And a YouTube.
Which
is probably where you found us.
You probably found us there. Actual podcast hosting is in the works, but I haven't got off my ass and done it yet. So for now, we're still just on YouTube. So I guess follow, like, share, and subscribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll
I never thought I'd say that.
We'll have the links in the video.
Yeah.
Or in the description. And this has been Let's Put On a Show. I'm Sabra.
I'm Lane.
And I'm Rob.
And let's go break some legs, guys.
Yeah. I mean...
Like, not actually, because I like you guys.
I mean, probably not. I mean, wait, hold on. You're saying break our legs? I thought we were going to roam out and break someone else's legs.
I mean, any legs.
Oh, okay.
But I'm clumsy.
Wait, so you're saying that I should not have done those bath salts?
Probably not.
Not a good idea.
Shit.
Okay.
All right, guys, quick tragic update.
Since the recording of our Ride the Cyclone podcast,
The second one.
The first one. And the first one, yeah. We have learned of the passing of Rachel Rockwell, the director of the show. She was 49 years old and died of ovarian cancer.
I remember that she directed every production of this.
Yes, she had directed every formation of Ride the Cyclone.
Yeah,
as well as a whole bunch of other shows.
Like what?
She directed Mamma Mia in 2017 in Chicago, West Side Story at Drury Lane, Annie at the Paramount on the East Coast, and Ragtime also at Drury Lane.
So yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
but it honestly lends a lot of really. I didn't know that she was.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
At the opening night, I'd heard that she was sick, but I didn't know what kind of sick.
Yeah, and it really adds a lot of interesting weight to the
show now. Yeah.
Themes, yeah. So, R.I.P.
Rachel Rockwell,
and yeah, that sucks. I hope
the show gets to go on.
Yeah, and I hope they find someone, not as good, because that would be very difficult, but someone who can keep it going, keep that legacy rolling.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I might as well make this the outro as well and just stick it on the end there. This is a production of Blood and Thunder Publications, all rights reserved. Our music is Ragamama by Purple Planet Music, and you can check out all of our stuff on Twitter and Facebook. All that link is in the description, and have a pleasant day. Enjoy the ride.